What is up, guys? Jake101 back with another video. In today's video, we'll be taking a look at another Kurumi Tokisaki figure. This time it is the 1/7 scale Pigeon Blood Ruby dress version by eStream. Now, before we talk about the actual figure, let's quickly go over the box. So here we got the actual box, and as you can see, there isn't much to it. Like on the front, we have the name of the figure, Pigeon Blood Ruby dress version. On the sides, we are greeted with images of Zafkiel, which, if you guys don't know, it's just Kurumi's spirit weapon in the show. On the back, we have a very nice image of Kurumi, and the actual box is a nice shade of red with like a prism pattern throughout it. But other than that, that's really it, which is a shame because I personally think the box is a bit boring and that they should have done a bit more with it. Anyway, with that out of the way, let's talk about the actual figure. Starting with the sculpt of the figure, I honestly have to say that I think eStream did an amazing job with it. Her legs look glorious, the hands are done well, her hair looks great, the face is really beautiful. I love the expression they captured, and the dress turned out amazing. Like, she just looks fantastic. I like how much detail they actually put into the dress. For instance, on the edges of the dress, you can see a very nice rose pattern that goes throughout it. Kurumi is decorated with a lot of ribbons, pearls, and roses. And as the name of the figure suggests, there are a lot of rubies incorporated into the design of the figure, which really adds a sense of elegance and luxury to the figure. As for the paint job of this figure, I honestly couldn't find any issues on mine. And as for the colors, I think honestly they turned out super good. I like how bold the red is. The black accents also add a nice contrast to help make the overall look of the figure not feel flat. Not to mention, I like the added white from the pearls and the gold and purple from the base and add color into the figure, which helps bring the overall look of the figure together. Speaking of the base, I really like how it actually turned out. I like how grand it makes the figure look, the cogs in the ground look great, and I really like the ring that circles Kurumi. Not to mention the spirit energy effect that is being siphoned into the barrel of her gun. And honestly, I think this base is just really unique and very cool. If I had to say any complaints about the figure, is that I wish the actual yellow gold on the base was a bit brighter, because depending on the lighting, it can feel a bit dull. And my second complaint is that I wish Zafkiel played much more of a present role in the actual figure. Until now, you probably haven't even noticed that Kurumi's spirit weapon was even part of the figure until I mentioned it, and that's because Kurumi's dress is just so big that it covers it, which is a real shame since Zafkiel does look amazing. With the cogs exposed in the center and having actual depth, and with how annoying it is to actually connect to the base, I wish we were actually able to see Zafkiel. Speaking of connecting to the base, let's go over the assembling process for this Kurumi, and with the exception of one part, it honestly wasn't that bad. To assemble Kurumi, the first thing you gotta do is connect Zafkiel to the base. This is the annoying part of the assembling process, since I had to put an uncomfortable amount of force to actually connect the part to the base. All I can say is that when you go to connect Zafkiel, make sure to use one of your hands to support the actual base underneath. And be careful when you start trying to connect the two pieces, because otherwise you may snap the base. After that, you can connect Kurumi to the base, which in order to do so, you may have to push Zafkiel a little bit so that Kurumi could get into the middle. And then you want to connect the support rod to Kurumi, which slides under her dress. Really, the only annoying part of this whole process is Zafkiel itself, but once you get past that, you're going to be left with a completed and beautiful figure. Now, this is an eStream figure, and since it is a very popular character, getting it on pre-order, I paid 46,200 Japanese yen, which when you convert it over to the United States dollar, is about $310. Now, I had to pay an extra $93 for shipping in order to get it. So I paid a total of $403 to get this figure. Now, at the time of recording this, she is no longer available on AmiAmi, but I did check and you can find her on Solaris Japan. Only problem is that you're paying $530 without shipping, which is literally $130 more than what I paid for her. I should also add that eStream is releasing 2 more figures as part of a set. The first one being Toka in her Amethyst Princess dress, and the second one being of White Queen and what they're calling the Royal Blue Sapphire dress. Since I like those two characters, I am planning to go for them, especially since I already got the Kurumi. But you should consider that before you go for them, since it is eStream and you already know they're going to be expensive. Finally, what are my final thoughts on this figure? Personally, I am a big Kurumi fan, so naturally I think this figure is amazing. And I obviously thought the price was worth it since I bought it. Now, I understand if others wouldn't, because again, she was expensive. But if you are a Kurumi fan and you have the means to buy her, I do think that she will be a very nice addition to anyone's collection, even without the other two completing the set. Again, this is a very popular character, and she gets so many figures that if you missed out, you will still have many quality Kurumi figures out there in the market, so don't feel like you have to buy this one. Though at the end of the day, I personally would recommend her as a figure worth buying. With all that being said, this has been the 1/7 scale Kurumi Tokisaki by eStream. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, subscribing, or commenting what you guys think about the figure down below. Again, I want to apologize for being inactive for so long. It's just that I've started up school again, and that alongside work, I've been finding it difficult to find a time to just do anything like play a game, watch anime. But ideally, and what I'm hoping to do is at least get one video out a month again. At least one, so that's what I'm gonna aim for. As for the room tour, I'm still working on it. I've just been moving things around. I just want to make sure everything looks good, adding things like, for instance, this wall scroll. But yeah, no, that's really been it. Anyway, that will be all from me, and make sure you guys take it easy.